Hi, it's Mike Cherry and Dan O'Hammer with an advanced tutorial for those of you that want to set the BPMs on your music and use the crossfader. The main thing you need to know is how to set your BPMs so that you can try the different crossfade methods. I strongly recommend that you have a look at the SAM Wiki. We've provided you with a link on the page. First of all, we need to explain to you that you need to be either in auto DJ or play cue mode for this to work. Obviously you need to be in the play cue mode because you're going to be using both deck A and deck B and crossfading tracks between the two of them. So the first thing we need to do is we need to drag a track up into deck A. We see all the criteria of the track, but you'll note that we see no information under BPM. To set our beats per minute, left click where the SAM logo should be, and up comes the Song Information Editor. I'm going to show this to you using a track in deck B, simply because in this case we have an album cover in place of the SAM logo. So let's go to deck B. To get to the Song Information Editor, we left click on the SAM logo. Inside the Song Information Editor, you'll see a number of tabs near the top. Click on the tab marked Settings. Down near the lower left corner, you'll see a window box marked beats per minute. Hit the button that says Auto Detect and you'll note a pop-up box with a progress bar. When that's finished, you'll see that we have the BPM set for the song in question. In this case, it's 107.6 beats per minute. If we wanted to manually change this, we can do so by toggling up or toggling down. When we've chosen the beats per minute that we want, or we decide that we want to leave it with the default beats per minute as found by the Auto Detect, hit Apply and hit OK. In order for this to be effective, you need to take the same file and drag it into the same deck a second time. Now you'll note over in the box on the right hand side the BPMs. In this case 107.6 beats per minute for this particular track. Now load a track into the alternate player. Left click, drag it up to the SAM logo, release your mouse. Left click a second time to bring up the Song Information Editor. Click on Settings and click on Auto Detect. In this case, on this particular song, the beats per minute are 55.3. Hit the Apply button and OK. Because all the song track information in SAM is kept on an online database, it's necessary to again drag the track in a second time into the same player. That's because the BPMs have been added to the online database. In deck A, the track we have has 55.3 beats per minute, and deck B 107.6. We're going to show you one method of matching beats, but before we do this, I'd like to show you another button on the player, which is called Fade to Next Song. This can also be used if you want to quickly audition a track. When I hit the play button and the track begins to play, I can quickly get to the crossfade point or to the second track by hitting the Fade to Next Song bar. And we're going to do that in our examples so that we can demonstrate how the crossfader works. For this particular example, we're going to show you how to use the smooth beat fade function in the fade control. Now keep in mind this is only one method of matching beats. By default, you'll see the slider on smooth beat fade shows us toggling between A and B. In our case, we want to have the beats in both A and B equals. So we slide this bar over to A equals B. You'll note track A has had its BPM bar slide up to 81.3, and bar B is also at 81.3. They're at different points because of the different actual BPMs of the song. These two have now been set so that they will crossfade and the beats will match. Let's start the track in track A. We're going to quickly fade to the next track to show you the crossfader. We've now matched the beats in both tracks. To return the beats in track B to their original point, you slowly bring the smooth beat fader back to its original setting. And you'll note on the bar above that this is returned to the center point. Now let's get ready to crossfade our next track. Drag it up into the alternate deck, and you'll notice in this case it has 45.5 beats per minute. Again, we're going to slide the fader bar on the smooth beat fade so that A equals B. Now let's crossfade between the tracks. We've successfully matched the beats between deck B and deck A, and now we wish to return the BPM in deck A to their original setting. Slowly slide across the smooth fade bar back to A versus B. Okay, we're going to show you yet another method for matching the beats. And of course we're in cue mode, so we can drag some tracks into the cue box window. We're going to drag 3 tracks into the cue box window and use these as our examples for crossfading. We'll start our player, in this case deck A, and we're going to use the auto button on the fade control. And what this will do, it will take the track in deck A, bring it to its crossfade point near the end of the song, and automatically fade us into the next track. And this is great if you want to do a mix on the fly and select a given point within the track to mix to the following track. So let's try that. Let's play the track in deck A. And what we're going to do is try and max it. We're going to try and mix it with the track in deck B. The next track that's going to play is Jimmy McGriff, The Worm, because it's the first track in our cue sequence. We're simply going to hit the auto button on the fade control. Now watch what happens and listen. As soon as we hit the auto button, it faded out the previous track we were playing and began playing the track in the alternate deck, which in this case was the first file we had chosen in our cue list.